Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Tortured Fans Department podcast. I am your host, Shaun Boyle, and as you can tell from the episode title, it's another draft episode. We're running it back with the TV drama crew for TV Comedies. Let me introduce the boys. I'll start with the top left of my screen. It is Mr. Joe Zweibel, the best, most fierce right back in the state of Indiana. Joe, how are you?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here. Thankful to be back after for I think second or third time all time.
There we go. We also have the host of the Get Back Coach podcast, decked out in his Flyers jersey. It is Mr. Jake Myers. Jake, how are you?
Hey, we're doing well. We're flyered up, trying to enjoy the Flyers right now, trying to enjoy the Sixers as well, but that's a story for another day. Glad to be back. Love talking shop that's not college football for a change.
And last but certainly not least is the pride of Baltimore County, Mr. Jeffrey Jaseski. Jeff, how's it going?
I'm doing well, buddy. Glad to be back. Love talking TV shows and love to pretend I'm a Penguins fan to make Jake really mad.
I'm in the same boat there. Our opening question is just going to be a simple one. We're running it back with the same crew, like I mentioned. We don't have to talk about who won that draft. It was me. But I wanted to get your overall just impressions of how you felt you did in that draft. Did the board fall the way you wanted it to? Were you proud of your selections? Did everything go the way you wanted? Or are you looking to make improvements for this episode?
Let me jump in and be the first to say that the tortured fans pod hive mind that just votes for their baby Shaun is an embarrassing crew, and they should all be ashamed of themselves for their performance in the vote in that draft.
That's no way to win over the listeners in this episode. Let me just say that.
I'm not here to make friends.
Yeah.
Yep. I want to second that.
I would also like to say justice for Jeremy, who put together a really great draft, and you said put his name in the comments if you want to vote for him. Despicable.
Agreed. No. Justice for Jeremy, absolutely.
If you guys listen to the episode, he drafted LA and then talked about how great Malibu was. He said Nashville was an East Coast city. And he took Miami for their sports culture. So please take that off my plate. Take that off my plate. We'll let's stay on the fact that we're talking about TV comedies here today.
Oh man, I would say I think if I could have got Friday Night Lights from you, I could have squeaked out first. But I'll settle for second in my debut.
I'm disappointed by the results. People don't understand what great television and what a Titan Law and Order was. Okay, like people just don't get
episodes. You're not wrong, Jake.
They're still pumping out episodes. Come on,
I think that was a good pill.
I want to stand by that.
I think that haunting pill now sunk you.
Justice for Mini Joe. Justice for Mini Joe. Also, by the way, the only clip you post out of that episode is Mini Joe.
Absolute banger. All right, boys, let's get into the draft rules. It is the same as always. We are doing 6 rounds. It takes 2 vetoes to get a pick removed from the board. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. There's good vibes in the pre-chat before the episode, so hopefully we don't get malicious and start taking things off the board. A general rule of thumb for the listener, by the way, we post a draft episode and then give people about a week to listen before we release the poll on Instagram, because the poll basically just spoils the entire episode. As you guys just did with the cities draft, you're like, oh my God, look how good Jeremy's draft was. Yeah, maybe tune in and talk about how Nashville's an East Coast city and you have a different tune. So I think that's the way we're going to do it moving forward. For this draft in particular, it has to be a comedy. It can be blended with a drama, but it needs to be undeniably at least equal parts funny. So I think we're all on the same page there. One clarification is Freaks and Geeks is not draft eligible because, Jake, you took that last time. So does anybody have any questions before we get into the order?
No, I just think a good rule of thumb is if the show is on streaming and it's not listed under comedy, then I think you're a little SOL.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
That's fine with me. The draft order today is Jeff, Joe, Jake, and then myself. I'm happy I don't have the first pick in this one. There's palpable anticipation for where Jeff's going to go. Jeffrey, kick things off.
In my mind, there were really only 2 shows that I was deciding between. Now, there are many that I think could be in consideration for this, but in terms of a comedy that sticks in the cultural lexicon, I'm taking Seinfeld 1-1.
Yep.
All right, that's what I was thinking it would. That's where you would go, Jeff. Is it up to me here, Shaun, or do we want some commentary?
Well, let's talk about Seinfeld a little bit. Jesus, one of the
Sorry,
all-time greats.
sorry.
Yeah, let's
Well, nobody.
do this.
Jeff cut it dead.
It was my 1-1 as well.
It was a first-round grade for me.
It's a show that, you know, the first time watching it was certainly not watching it straight through. It's watching reruns, you know, sitting on the couch with my mom or dad and just kind of catching an episode here, an episode there, and then getting older and having the DVD set at home and just kind of rolling through it and just being like, the show's unbelievable. Just to be able to do what they did with that style of TV show, which again, it's obviously the common phrase, but it is a show that is about nothing. And it's just, you know, they ran for 9 years and it was just an absolute hammer every year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it went out on top. That 9th season is like near perfect.
I know people hate the finale, but
I was fine. Okay. I thought the finale was fine. They get their comeuppance. But yeah, it's Seinfeld 1-1. And then like also adding things like yada, yada, yada. I feel like that was like a huge, like in our everyday
double dip the chip, take one dip and
double dip. Yeah. Like just cultural significance too. Seinfeld is huge. Larry David, great writer, but yeah, Seinfeld was my 1-1.
Plus the amount of people that still say no soup for you. I mean, the show ended almost 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Favorite character?
Ooh. I mean, how do you not love George? I mean, George just straight up conned his way into working for the Yankees. Taught Mickey Mantle.
Come on.
Yeah, Jeff, great pick. Honestly, that was definitely a first rounder. It was just a matter of who took it first. So I don't think anybody could have any quarrels with that one. If nothing else, Joe, it's over to you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about, do I go with my heart here in terms of the order, or do I go with, a blend of kind of, what maybe deserving of a first round pick? And I think I'm going to lean that route. I am a big fan of shows where it's a, large group of people having a great time, chumming it up, seeing all the, seeing all the different dynamics between a group of people. And so, I think for me, I got to go Friends. I think it influenced a lot. Jeff the Face, love it. I will say it's there are a couple other shows that are similar that I'm hoping maybe fall to me, but that are of a similar format that, I wouldn't say this one is necessarily my favorite, but I think, the cast list is full of Titans. It, was, a good balance of serious and funny. And I think it paved the way for a lot of, similar shows, in the last, maybe 10, 15 years as well. So I'm going to go Friends.
So I am not a huge Friends guy. And I can already tell Jeff is not either.
Yep.
However, like the huge significance. Like I remember like my mom watching the finale in real time. I knew how big of a deal that was. But there are moments in that show that are hilarious. I think Joey on Pyramid is so outrageous. And there's like the pivot, but
the pivot scene,
like sometimes I just want to punch Ross right in the face. And I think I don't know if I'm supposed to or not, but like him. Yeah. But Chandler Bing, one of the funniest characters of all time. So Friends, I definitely could see it up there, just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, it's an unquestionable first round show. It's just not my cup of tea. I didn't even put it on the list because I just don't love it. Mm-hmm. But I know people do, and I'm okay being wrong on that one.
Oh yeah,
Joe, I'll jump in and save you a little bit here. I do enjoy Friends. It was on my list. I think unquestionably it wasn't going to be something I would draft because it's a first rounder, and I didn't have it that high on my list. But I think the people that shit on it that have watched it are a little bit out of line. It was a very, very good show. I can totally get you guys not getting into it. That's one thing. But I think the people that have watched it and then openly shit on it, I think that's a bit out of bounds.
Boudreaux is the best part. Phoebe singing Smelly Cat, sign me up. I'm in on that.
What are they feeding you? Yeah. We Were on a Break is an all-time scene that don't worry about me falling asleep. I still have your letters. It's truly some good stuff there. And I do agree, Jake. Ross was so punchable, but I think that is the point.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there's a character kind of for everybody too, as we've all, kind of described. I think that, so many sub dynamics. There's obviously the group dynamics, but, so many of the, whether it's 2 character dynamics or 3 character, or, obviously there's the, romantic relationship dynamics as well. And so I think it's definitely worthy of a first rounder.
For sure.
All right. Who's up? Me. Oh, me. I'm going to go. I'm trying not to pander, but I'm going to go with the hometown pick here. I think I'm going to go the United States version of The Office. I know it wasn't as strong of a show towards the end, but I still kind of like the Robert California season a bit. It's a different show when Michael leaves, but there's just so much. It's like every episode has something in it, even Scott's Tots, but and I feel like it's also a show that was big when it came out, but then when it hit streaming, it exploded again and had like this renaissance. So I'm going The Office United States. Huge. And for all of us being from the Scranton area, I think everyone kind of has an idea where we live now, which I think is kind of cool.
Well, I think last time Joe was on, he was airing out my parents' home address. So I think just the general Scranton area is better.
I don't think that's
no. It's not.
He already said.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything you said there, Jake. The second life of The Office really was so much bigger than the first. It was a big show, and it got better as it went along, or at least got more popular as it went along. You could argue the early seasons were actually the best, but the second life, when it hit streaming, it completely took over. Now everybody's seen it. I think it travels well amongst the age groups too. There's a lot of young people that have gotten into The Office, which is not the case with some of these shows we're going to talk about. So I think The Office was another clear first rounder, and things are going pretty chalky, I will say.
Yeah, this is that's the part that I was going to bring up, Shaun. That's where I considered at 1-1 between Seinfeld and The Office, because I think in our generation as the millennials, I think Seinfeld did seep down into that. I don't know how much it has into younger groups, but Gen Z and even below that have all gotten into The Office, which is to its credit.
Yep.
Yeah, I think The Office was, I think for me, probably for looking objectively, would be one of the top 2. But I just, for whatever reason, I just don't love it. I have not. I don't really love it. I have tried on multiple occasions to really push through, and it just was never really, tickle my fancy. And so because of that, I just had to ignore it. But I recognize I left a big one on the board there for Jeffrey. Or for Jake,
think there are some bad seasons, Joe. I think the first season is not very good. I think the season where they are, between bosses and bring in Idris Elba, that definitely didn't work.
Yeah.
Even the Will Ferrell stuff's like kind of I'm with you, Jake. The Robert California stuff did more for me than it did for some other people, but I understand why people don't really like that season as well. So there is definitely more negative than you would think in a show kind of as highly touted and recognized as it is. But that just tells how good the middle of it was.
Yeah.
Also one of the better finales. I think they wrapped it up perfectly.
Yes, they did. For a show, like I said, that wasn't having a strong couple seasons towards the end, I think they wrapped it up, as perfect as you could.
Yeah, the last 3 episodes were really strong. They tied a bow on it nicely. That's a great pick, and it will play in the Scranton crowd, Jake. So definitely worthy of a first rounder.
The Asian Jim bit's one of my favorite bits in television history.
So good.
Chip Park, legend.
Some of those cold openings were fantastic.
Yeah,
the fire drill from Dwight. Oh my God!
One of the funniest episodes of it. Like, it's
what does warm mean?
Yeah,
try another exit. Yeah, no, it's great.
That's one of the funniest episodes.
All right, it's up to me for 2. I have 3 that I wanted, and I was really hoping you guys took one of them to make my decision easier, and you didn't. So I'm gonna take Curb Your Enthusiasm with my first round pick.
Very good.
I tip my cap to Seinfeld. Obviously, goes without saying. All credit goes there for Larry David, and it's a spin-off of that in ways. But I prefer Curb. I think it's more rewatchable. I go back to it a lot more than I go back to Seinfeld. Nothing against it. I think they're both great. I just really like the ancillary characters in Curb. Jeff is one of my favorite comedy guys of all time. His wife Susie is electric when she gets on screen. Leon Black, all the adventures that Larry goes on throughout a normal day in his life. I just love everything about it. And I think they did pretty well throughout as well. They got strong as the season went on. Their cameos in late seasons were good. I liked when Vince Vaughn joined the cast. I was all in on Curb Your Enthusiasm, so I'm happy to have that in my first round.
Didn't meet my 75% requirement.
Yep,
I've seen some of it, not watched
much.
Same.
Wow, really?
I know it's good, but I just haven't watched enough of it.
See, that was one I was certain that a couple of you guys would have seen, and I was scared it wouldn't get back to me, but I'm happy to have it nonetheless. Now, here's where the real question comes in, is which one of the next two do I want? And I'm just going to go with what I'm feeling in the moment, and I will take How I Met Your Mother.
Damn. Damn.
I thought that was going to slip.
Me too.
Oh, I'm glad.
Damn.
I was happy to reach for it. It's the one that I like the most in my opinion. Like if you were just to ask me, you get to pick one to watch again and again, I'm going with How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
I love a show based in New York City. The whole cast they play a role so well. Different elements of the
talking
friend
about
group.
friend. Keep talking about friends here. Keep talking about friends here, Shaun. Keep
Friends.
going, buddy. Keep
Friends,
going, brother.
No. Friends is a little bit dialed back, in my opinion. How I Met Your Mother is a little bit more nuanced. I love Marshall. He's by far my favorite character in the show. Marshmallow and Lily Pad. Lily low-key kind of stinks. I will say that. Selfish Lily.
Lily's such a bad person.
She's terrible, really. Marshall deserved better, but boy, oh boy, what a show.
It's Marshall versus the machine.
Oh, yeah. That's a great one.
It's the show that I've watched the most in my life. I've probably seen How I Met Your Mother straight through 5 or 6 times.
Wow.
The season where spending 23 episodes in a little like bed and breakfast waiting for the wedding really kind of pissed me off. But otherwise, other than that and the finale, which I mean,
yeah,
you didn't need 8 seasons to get to that finale. We could have ended it after about 11 episodes if we were gonna do that. But otherwise, there are very few misses.
Yeah,
the Blitz is one of the greatest episodes.
If I was picking with my heart, that's what my number 2 pick would have been. But I decided to go with maybe what is the more critically acclaimed, though maybe that's not the case. I don't know what you guys think.
I think you were looking for the word pander there is what you decided to go with Friend.
Who's the best, Shaun, since you drafted it, in your opinion, who is the best significant other of Ted's?
Oh, I was in love with, I think she was a tattoo removal artist. She was the one they made the play about. She ended up getting back with her original husband, Stella. That's it. Yeah, I love Stella. And I also like Victoria.
No Can-Do'sville, baby doll.
I can only imagine what those cupcakes were from
Victoria.
Yeah.
I was a Zoe stan, super unpopular opinion.
Jeff, I was a big Zoe
wow
person. I was a big Zoe person too. And then they like kind of nuked her because then she went like totally crazy. And I'm like, okay, well, I think I'm off. But I think Victoria was probably the best. That's probably the person should have been.
It very clearly wasn't Robin.
I didn't hate it.
No, Jake. I was going to say it. I was going to save it because I don't want to come out as a guy who kind of liked it secretly as well. I loved it.
I didn't hate that he ended up with Robin. The problem is I loved Tracy, Kristen Milioti. Malati. She was, and I think that's the reason why she was perfect, and it was perfect. And if we would have ended it there, I think it would have been fine. It'd be like, that's How I Met Your Mother, and she comes in with the kids, and like, oh, what's your father talking about? That would have been, but because they wanted to go that extra step of, well, she passed, and now spoiler alert.
Jesus.
But then when he gets the blue French horn, it ties it back to the first episode. So
yeah,
I didn't hate it as much.
French horn. That was all I was going to say. Blue French horn. That's
the blue French horn.
Yeah.
Find someone you want to steal the blue French horn for.
Robin certainly fits that box. Robin, I'd steal you $1 million.
Yeah.
You'd have a whole orchestra.
Loved How I Met Your Mother.
Great pick, Shawnee.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm going with my heart here because I don't want someone else to take it because I think Shaun's going to take it. It is a show I got into thanks to our good friend, actually, Kyle Kotz, early on, I think in the second or third season, and I've been watching it ever since. One of the longest running sitcoms of all time. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I love it. For people who say you cannot do edgy comedy anymore or edgy shows anymore, this spits in the face of that because it's edgy and, I know borderline offensive, but they do the jokes in a way where it's not about the bad thing. It's about the characters being terrible people.
Yes.
And I think that's how they're able to do a lot of these like touchy, offensive kind of subjects. But I love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I do want it to end soon because Danny DeVito is getting old and I think they just need to wrap it up. But I love it. One of the longest running sitcoms of all time. Seinfeld on crack, as a lot of people say.
Jake, I think to your point there, where in How I Met Your Mother, it takes a while to realize that most of them are pretty terrible people. It's Always Sunny tells you right away, these people suck, but we're going to follow along and enjoy the ride. It's another show where I love so many of the episodes that I've seen. I just haven't watched it straight through.
Jake, you stole it from me. You were right in saying it was on my board for sure.
I know. I knew it.
So many moments that I quote and go back to that are just like you get a visceral laughter out of me. It's great, and the framing of the jokes and the way that you talked about and how they teeter that line so well. It's very smart. There's a lot of improvisation in there. I like that the showrunners are in the show. It's just it's really strong. And of course, another local pick. Jake's playing the hometown hero card here.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about
Philadelphia market as well because of my Temple ties. So yeah, you're playing the hits, Jake.
Is it the most memeable show of all time?
Ooh, there's a lot. I mean, Charlie in the basement with the giant board is something I meme all the time.
Carol.
I said
Carol. Did someone get addicted to crack? Where they're like doing the hand motions of crying. There's so many good stuff. I'm in the middle of a rewatch right now with the girlfriend, so because she's never seen it, so I'm very much enjoying it.
I sadly have not seen Always Sunny. Maybe a couple of episodes here and there. I think I told you, Shaun, this is not going to be my strongest effort, but I'm going to do my best. This one, I am going to go with my heart. Similar friendship dynamics as Friends and How I Met Your Mother. This one is probably the show that I have laughed out loud, just audibly by myself by far the most. New Girl is a masterpiece. Even though a masterpiece outside of the ending, you could argue, but man, just all of the characters, Schmidt, Nick Miller, good old Winston, CC mess around, even to the point where, in my opinion, the main character in Jessica Day is the worst of the characters. The show is just hilarious.
Joe, that was the one. Actually, I said there was 3 that I wanted to take, and I was hoping you guys picked one of them. That was the one that I was deciding between How I Met Your Mother and New Girl. I love them both. I went with How I Met Your Mother because that's how I was feeling in the moment, but New Girl is excellent. There's so many good characters on that show. I think it's so well written. Like you said, Jess is one of the worst characters, in my opinion, and she's the main character, so I think it's smart in the way that they made the sidekicks the stars of the show. Really, really good stuff from New Girl. But
she's the straight man to like the zaniness that are her roommates. But I love New Girl. Someone told me about New Girl like during COVID about I should watch it, and I'm gonna be honest, I dismissed it. I was like, and like I was like, am I really gonna like that? And I started watching it, and I laugh out loud funny from beginning to end. But I didn't mind the last season too. When they have Schmidt's daughter and Cece's daughter in the mix, I think she's adorable and hilarious. But love New Girl. I was hoping it was gonna fall another round. Great pick by Joey Zeitgeist.
Joey Zeitgeist. Glad you brought that
for
back.
I think for a comedy, I think there was a surprising amount of character growth. I think throughout all of the seasons. I think for me, what took the show to the next level is when they leaned into Winston's weirdness. And, he obviously was a very different character in the first few seasons, but when they just played into his quirks, I mean, man, just so many laughable moments. So many.
Joe, do you have a favorite quote?
Oh, I'm not the best quote guy, so I can't rip one off right from here, but I mean, I don't know. It probably is, even though Nick is probably my favorite of the characters. I mean, Schmidt is just says the most outlandish things just that you could ever imagine a character ever saying.
It smells like frickin' Tijuana. After Nick and Jess kiss for the first time is probably my favorite.
One of my favorite scenes is when Schmidt is trying to tell Nick that he's dating both Cece and Elizabeth.
Yes.
And Nick is
like, that was going to be the other one.
Dating Cece? He's like, yeah, so you're dating Elizabeth. You can't do that.
You can only have one wife. That's how the world works.
Yes. So good.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, 2 big ones heading your way, and I think I'm about to get crushed as I wait on the wraparound here. I think we're just going to start to see all my favorites fall.
This is where I'm gonna stick to the board and not try to cater to the crowd. I'm gonna go with one of the greatest raunchy comedies of all time, one of the worst fictional athletes of all time, La Flama Blanca, Kenny Powers himself, Eastbound and Down will be my second round.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good pick. It's one of those, Jeff, that I just haven't seen enough of. I enjoyed everything I've seen from it, but I wouldn't feel like I would be in a place to draft it.
You talk about character development. There is very little for old Kenny Powers over the course of the show. Every time it looks like he's going to redeem himself, he does not, because that is just who Kenny Powers is. One of the funniest scenes in television history, when Jason Sudeikis shows up in the show and then dies, and he comes out with the boombox playing Far Behind by Candlebox. I laugh thinking about it. It's one of the great things. Then you have when he's pitching down in Myrtle Beach and in Mexico, he's very clearly a horrible athlete who can't throw a baseball, and it's absolutely hilarious when they make him seem like a professional athlete. Eastbound and Down, Stevie Janowski, one of the most absurd characters in TV history. Can't beat it.
So, Jeff, just watched this, finished it up a couple months ago, and I hate Kenny so much.
So much.
Like, you just, and like you said, just when you think he's going to redeem himself, he just doubles down. Him coming out in Mexico for the first time to take the pitcher's mound is just a classic scene. I have it on my list, was a little lower, but there is one thing in each episode that is just laugh out loud funny. But yeah, Stevie, like him, I just saw a video the other day, him saying, get that fixins. Like Stevie is just one of the most absurd, like you said, absurd character.
And with your second pick, I want to point out also, we're continuing the theme of Jake had not watched any television show until he turned 25 and COVID hit.
Pretty much.
Because dating back to our TV drama draft, every pick, Jake was like, I saw this one during COVID.
I watched this last
he's like, just finished this one. They're all breaking news to him.
Hey, I'm on season 5 of The Wire, everybody. It's good. It's very good.
I like the update, Jake.
I don't know if you've ever heard of it before, but it's a really good show.
I'm going to kick off the third round. one of the longer running comedy series. I think in college is when I really went back and caught up on every episode. And I've seen a lot of the stuff since. I won't pretend to say I still watch it every week, but I will go back and watch some of the older episodes. I got to take South Park here.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. That's
I
a
thought
heavy
people were
hitter,
going to forget.
but
yeah, I mean,
not on my board just because I haven't seen enough of it. Again, I fall into that boat,
Yep.
but it's one that I appreciate its place. It was going to be a high pick in this draft. I think third round is actually good value.
just couldn't not take it there. I honestly thought Jake was going to take it at some point, and I was going to allow him to. But once we get into the heart of this thing, South Park's got to come off the board. Just what Trey and Matt have been able to do for 20 plus years in this space, where they can churn out episodes with current commentary on a relatively quick basis is truly unbelievable. Like I said, I don't watch every episode anymore. I'm a 31-year-old with a kid. The humor is probably not supposed to be as much for me anymore, but for 20 plus years, it's just been banger after banger. At the Al Gore episode, Al Gore's internet is something that I just say very often, and people look at me like I have 6 heads because they probably haven't watched South Park. But shout out Man Bear Pig.
Love. I was hoping it was going to drop this round to take it. But yeah, Jeff, like high school and college, it was because it was relevant to what was going on in the world like that, at least in a 2-week, span. And I think when season 4 hit, that's when they started getting into that like social commentary. But also Randy Marsh probably is up there with one of the best side characters in all of television.
He's the best.
Anything that revolves around him is absolutely hysterical. Darn it. I was really hoping that was going to fall to me.
Oh, well, I have is it back to me here, correct?
It is.
Yes, sir.
All right. I have like a list of about 7 shows that I could go with here. And so I am just shooting from the hip and, pointing at one, spinning them in a circle and pointing at one. I'm going to go with maybe a little bit of an underrated pick. This one might tank my draft, but it is what it is. In terms of shows that make you laugh out loud, Brooklyn Nine-Nine was an absolute, Jake Peralta, Captain Ray Holt, the dynamics with Amy, and then Terry Crews' character, Gina Linetti, the character, is a hysterical addition. I loved the show, and like I said, when I think about where Friends maybe was like kind of quirky, funny, this one it is also quirky, but man, I laughed a ton for this one. And while I didn't watch the last few seasons, it is definitely up there for me in terms of comedies that I really enjoyed. But I'm sure you all are gonna list off about 4 or 5 that are probably on the same boat. But just seeing Cops in a funny light again, especially I think when it was kind of produced, I think was also a pretty impressive thing to do.
I've seen a bunch of clips. I've seen clips online.
Number 5 Killed My Brother. That's the clip I know. It was when they sing "I Want It That Way" by the Backstreet Boys. Number 5
Killed My Brother.
Number 5 Killed My Brother. That's
I've
the
seen
only
a
thing I
bunch.
know about it.
Probably reach, but we will survive. Sometimes you got to battle.
Stay true.
Joe, I love that you stayed true to yourself there and didn't pander with Friends. I love that. That's growth. That's character growth.
Says King Panderer from the last
King
round.
Pander.
The Panda.
No, I was King Basic because I didn't see as many as you guys, so I was forced to just take the shows everybody's seen. But no, I've heard really good things about this one. I have not seen it myself. I know that famous clip of them singing "I Want It That Way," but I do like Andy Samberg a good bit, so I'm assuming I would like this one. I just haven't dove into it yet.
Okay, it's me. Right? It is me.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
okay.
think in this 4-person draft we'd have the order down with you two, but
Hey. Listen, it's tough counting to 4. Let's see.
So I teach English.
That's why I teach social studies, brother. All right. I'm going to go with Parks and Rec. And that is, again, getting into that one, I was like, it's a Office knockoff. The thing is, I think what's the huge difference is you care about the characters so much more, I think, in Parks and Rec and how they're going to end up. Where, like, in The Office, yeah, you have Jim and Pam, you have Michael, like, that you care about, but everyone else is a side character. Where in Parks and Rec, I feel like everyone has a story at some point. And this is another show, I think, that wraps up beautifully. Extremely charming. Love it. And Shaun, I just want to let you know this. I watched this show during COVID. So I just want to let you know that I did that as well.
Naturally.
Jake, which shows had you seen prior to 2020?
Just
not a lot. You started watching Law and Order back in 2007?
Not a lot. Not a lot.
It's a great pick, and I hate that you're a person who watched it during COVID too.
Yes. I just watched sports all day. Just everything. I wasn't taking in a lot of other media.
If I was a true if I was true to these pandering allegations, that's the pick that I would have taken, Shaun. However, I decided to live by my code, the code that Jeff and I had said about, not picking shows that we haven't seen like 75% of it. So I decided to be a man of honor.
I will say I'm glad Joe didn't get this one on his board, because his board would have had some real pop if he was rolling out Friends, New Girl, and Parks and Rec. He would have got every female vote. So I'm really happy that he didn't take that one, and he might have reached for Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Joe, I'm glad also you stayed true to yourself. Jake, I also don't think this is a pander. This is a great pick, and it really hurts my board. Yeah,
great pick.
Nice.
Really
this is tough.
Ron Swanson's an elite character.
Yes, absolutely.
Big April Ludgate fan.
Yep. Andy, Leslie, even Leslie too. They're all great. Like, you just care about all the characters in there.
I'll take all the bacon and eggs you have. No, I don't think you heard me. I'll take all the bacon and eggs you have. It's so good.
I think this one fell victim to, it was one of those things that everybody and their brother and sister was quoting Ron Swanson to the point where I was like, okay, I haven't seen the show. I'm like, shut the fuck up about Ron fucking Swanson. And I kind of silently protested not watching it, even though does the show take place in Indiana?
Yes, it does.
What did your civil unrest, your silent protest, what did that do to the show?
Nothing. I was just being stubborn as hell because, oh God, that's why I wasn't Breaking Bad for a while. Everybody wouldn't shut the fuck up about Breaking Bad. And so I was like, no, I haven't fucking seen it.
I'd be lying if I said I haven't done that before.
I'm not sure we should allow this one on your board. I thought you were doing Pennsylvania only.
I know, right? Listen, whenever I see a miniature horse to this day, I say, "Oh, look, it's little Sebastian." Like, your 10,000 candles in the wind. Yeah, great.
That's a great,
great series. Thank you.
Oh boy, you really put me in a pickle here. I'm going to take one that I love, and it might be a reach. I'm going right down what Joe just said. I'm going to go with Arrested Development.
Great.
I don't know if there's
good pick.
Okay,
great pick.
Thank you. I was hoping you guys had seen it, but I wasn't sure. I didn't want to hear crickets, so I'm really glad I have some strength in numbers on this one. I think this show is piss your pants funny. The cast of characters that surround Jason Bateman and then his dry, sarcastic humor, it is perfect. A weird show too, because of just how it came out with the big break, and then I thought they did nail the landing. I thought they got it back on track even after that time off. It wasn't as good as the original in my opinion, but it was still solid. So I'm happy to have Arrested Development on my board.
Amazing pick.
Tyler Myers rolling over in his grave on the Jason Bateman love there.
Brother Tyler doesn't love Jason Bateman?
I might have lost his vote.
I think that was
definitely getting it with How I Met Your Mother.
I was going to say, I think that was the conversation around Ozark, where he's like, Jason Bateman just plays himself all the time and is just bland and annoying. That also could have been a Taylor take. I can't remember which one of the two of them, but I've had this conversation with them.
He's not overly wrong, though, because Jason Bateman is kind of, in Arrested Development, he is kind of just playing himself around, again, absurdity that is his family. There's always, listen, Shaun, there's always money in the banana stand.
The conversation between Lindsay and Tobias about the open relationship and how people delude themselves into thinking it might work. No, it never does, but it might work for us.
That is the best meme for like sports, with like coaches, general management. It's an evergreen meme for sports management.
Yeah, picking Penn State as a top 5 team never works, but it might for us.
It might work. It might work for us. But no, great pick. Great pick by Shaun.
Thank you. I do have another one now. And this one, we might have a veto. I just want to get out ahead of it.
Oh.
Getting ahead of a veto is never a good way to get me to not veto.
Yeah.
I thought that would provide some transparency and honesty. I wasn't trying to sneak it past you. I will
throw the heater by me, buddy. I'm sitting curveball.
I will take Boy Meets World.
That's a great pick. It's on my list.
It was on my board.
Okay. Yep.
I didn't know if it would come up in a traditional comedy section of a streaming service like we talked about, Jeff, but there's nothing else that it is. There's drama elements, but it's a comedy. It's a coming-of-age comedy, and it was my show when I was younger. That was what I would rush home from school to see Boy Meets World. Philadelphia fans, unfortunately, Corey Matthews, big Phillies fan, they stink. But Topanga was the love of my life. And I'm happy that I have Topanga on my board and none of you guys do. So when I sleep tonight, I'm going to think I got Topanga, you guys didn't.
Fair.
I was hoping it would slip to the last round so I could take it for my all Pennsylvania team that I'm trying to build over here, apparently. Shaun, it is one of the shows that you grow as the characters grow, and the show also grew. So like it started as a kids show when they're little kids. Then it turned into like a teen comedy on like ABC Family when we're 12 and 13 years old. But yeah, it's amazing show to come home like after school, middle school, watch Boy Meets World, or like in the summer on a rainy day, like Boy Meets World's on. Shaun, that's fantastic take. It was on my board as well as like a kids sitcom type genre.
It's a great round for
Jake, you're convincing everybody to vote for Shaun. Jesus.
Jake,
listen, he's got good picks.
Thank you. That's what Honest Man does. There's not this agenda, this propaganda from Joe.
We're men of honor.
Men of honor.
Joe, we're men of honor.
And I've been nothing but complimentary of your picks as well, Jake.
Yeah,
there's probably a side deal to maintain this whole, Shaun is the king of the freaking castle over here.
The podcast boys versus the non-podcast boys.
Exactly.
That's right.
Oh, man. So it's back to me.
Indeed, Jake.
We can confirm you do.
You figured out the snake. You're back, buddy.
That's how drafts work.
Let me spoil it for the listeners as well. Joe, you're up after Jake.
Jake's gonna take Seinfeld here.
So I'm gonna go with Malcolm in the Middle.
Wow.
It might be a reach. A huge show for my brother and I guess brothers. I guess Luke was around for when we watch it too, I guess. But I loved how it was a show because like back then it was like shows about like you had like the Seventh Heavens and you had like the drama shows of like all the like white picket fence families, and like Malcolm in the Middle was their family was totally dysfunctional. And chaos. I loved it. We were kind of introduced to Bryan Cranston for the first time, and his like Hal, one of the best TV dads out there. The dynamic with the brothers, but love Malcolm in the Middle. Saw it during not COVID re-syndication while I was in high school. Okay, so I was on this earlier, but love the dynamic of a just dysfunctional family trying to make it. So do love Malcolm in the Middle.
I like it. It was lower on my board. I probably have seen somewhere in the ballpark of 50 to 75% of it. Dewey is an unbelievable character.
Oh, the best. Yes, he is.
It was I would not say it was on my board.
Was not, Joe?
No.
That's the same for me. It wasn't on mine either, but I was about to say we're going to see the point in the draft now, I think, where it gets into personal preference. And it's not to say that there's bad picks. There just might be some gaps in each other's boards. I've heard good things about Malcolm in the Middle, and I did know your family was big on that, Jake. So, hey, listen, staying true to your guns. I love it.
Yep. Hey, I'm staying true to me. I'm not trying to pander like some people.
No.
I'm sticking to my heart.
Yeah, Jake, you're probably gonna message the whole fam and make sure your whole family votes.
Make sure we're voting.
You got Malcolm in the Middle.
Hey, did you see this?
Listen, my parents don't know how to work the internet. Okay, so I can't get them.
Sean, I just as a reminder, how many picks are we gonna get through here? 5 or 6?
6.
6. Okay, cool.
Teach. Just like the syllabus you pass out at the beginning of the year.
I was already chirped about asking a question pre-show, and 2 of the 3 other people in the audience were like, "Wow, Joe, great question." Unlike my dear
Joe,
friend,
there's only one person chirping you for these questions, and it ain't me, brother.
I know you're right.
It's family. It's family. Actually.
It's
actually family.
I don't know why I feel hostile today. I don't know why.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna roll with Community.
Great
hilarious
pick.
Show. Talk about a star-studded cast. I mean, Joel McHale, Allison Brie, Jillian Jacobs, Donald Glover, Chevy Chase, amongst a bunch of others. Troy and Abed in the morning, just over and over again. I could just think of it playing. The dynamics between Jeff and Brito were very funny. Shirley was a great side character that brought, I think, a lot of laughs into it. And so I think it was a little strange after it went away and then came back. I don't even know where it restreamed for those last couple seasons. But I think at its best, it was funny, really, really funny. And I think the concept of a community college too is also a really great play. So yeah, Community for me for sure.
Yeah, loved Community. I when Donald Glover left and Troy and Abed, again, one of the best duos on TV. One of the funniest. I think once he left, and then they were Mike from Breaking Bad joins the show, and then they get a couple others. It just wasn't the same. Ken Jeong was a bigger character. I kind of fell off it towards the end, but those first 3 or 4 seasons were laugh out loud funny. The Dean too, hilarious side character. But yeah, good pick, Joe. It was on my board.
Joe, I was debating that with my last pick. I think that's a strong one. I agree with Jake. Yeah. I didn't even finish it, I don't think, but those first 3 or 4 seasons I would stack up with a lot of comedy. So I really enjoyed them. And I think the blend of characters and how they interacted at a community college was new to me. I hadn't seen anything like that before. So I think that's a really good pick.
Board for 2. This is where it gets tough. I still have a long list. You guys have taken a lot of shows that I've seen some of, but not enough of to put on the board. So you've not made this easy on me. But like I said, I'm staying true. We're gonna tie this in with my first pick. We're going Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Veep.
Amazing.
Yep, Jeff, that was next for me. Good pick.
Yep. I mean, Jonah might be the funniest character in the last 15 years of TV.
So funny, man.
Timothy Simon's just unbelievable in that role. Obviously, JL Diaz, an absolute moron of a vice president and then eventually president. Horrible human being, but every episode of that show is funny. The different characters, the characters who are in the show the entire time stay funny. The characters that come in and out of the show, just an unbelievable comedy. Riding with HBO with Eastbound and Down and Veep. In my eyes, probably I think I have it top 5 of all time.
The way they treat Mike McClintock, I first of all, I love Mike. His deadpan dumb humor, it gets me. and the way they treat him on an episode basis, it's so good. I love Veep. I was late to this one. This was probably a COVID watch for me, but I really enjoyed it. I think it was
for me.
Yeah.
Anytime Jonah comes in is immediate, like I just laugh out loud funny. And then I don't know Tony. I forget Tony Hale's name, the bald guy, but he's like the ass kisser. He's in Arrested Development as well. Also funny in that. Yeah. He's a hilarious character. But yeah, good.
He's Gary.
Great pick. Gary. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hilarious pick.
This was one that Jeff I wanted, but it's one of those shows that you watch and you really enjoy, and then you just fall off. You know what I mean? It's just you picked something else up, and then you just never made your way back to it. But as I was looking at some people's lists, I was like, man, that's one that I probably should have finished, and I know someone's gonna take it, and I feel regret.
All right, so now on to the fifth round. Again, in a bit of a spot here where I have about 10 shows I would really like to draft. But again, I'm sticking true to who I am. I'm probably the only person in this group who would take this show. I could wait until the last pick of the draft and blow it up and make him Mr. Relevant, but I'm not going to do that because that's not true to who I am. So pitter patter, let's get at her. I'm taking Letterkenny. I think Letterkenny is the best comedy of the past 8 to 10 years.
Wow.
It's aggressively Canadian, and it is unbelievable. Jared Kiso, I would love to be able to pair this with Shoresy because Shoresy's so freaking good too. But Letterkenny's what started it all. Letterkenny's the reason that Shoresy exists. So I'm rocking with Letterkenny. 6-episode seasons, 25-minute episodes. You can absolutely breeze through it, and I've watched it through so many times over the last couple of years.
I've seen a couple episodes, but not enough to. But it is hilarious. I do love it, but I just haven't seen enough of it to feel good about putting it out there.
Jeff, what's the reach of this? Because I'll say this: it feels like one of those cult shows where I have 2 or 3 friends that have also watched it that have your same exact take. That it's arguably the best comedy out there, but I also don't know a ton of people that have watched it.
Yeah, I think it's hit or miss. I mean, it's a decade-old show that gets released on Crave, which is a Canadian network, every year, a couple of weeks before it makes its way to Hulu. So there is that part of it. I have a handful of friends and family members who have watched this show and also love it, but it's definitely fewer and far between than your traditional kind of network sitcoms and comedies. But if I'm being true to myself, it would be like 2 or 3 on my board. So I could not take it.
Jeff, I've seen nothing of the show. I've barely even heard of it. Some of the words you were saying, I think, might have been in a different language. But I will say,
allegedly.
I'm proud of you for sticking to your guns.
Canadian.
I'm proud of you for sticking to your guns.
Get out of here, Squirrely Dan.
Squirrely B.
I'm gonna go talking about sticking true to your guns, and there might be some pushback here. So we'll see if we have some vetoes. But I'm gonna go Ted Lasso.
Oh no, it's great. Good pick.
Yeah, it was on the board.
Fine pick.
I think it's definitely in the dramedy category. I will say, as Jeff's here swaying back and forth.
No, it's good. It's good. It's same ballpark as Boy Meets World.
Jeff, do you want to talk veto? I'll talk veto to take off his board. I'll talk it. I won't throw the word around.
Listen, I'll put it in my suggestion box.
If you have material prepared in favor of a veto, I would certainly hear it. I don't think.
Can I say my spiel first?
Can I just say real quick, Joe? I love the show. I think it's a great show. I would have picked it next if it came back to me, and you would not hear the word veto mentioned once. But there's a big but. I don't laugh at the show too often. While I love it, I don't really find myself laughing at it. I think it's more so just a wholehearted great show than it is something I go back to laugh at. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's what prevents it for me from being a first 3-round pick. I think it is a really good blend. Like I don't know. I am, in terms of my comedy style or what I like comedy wise, I like there to be quirky banter and funny things, and I do like there to be laugh out loud moments, but I also like for it to be kind of well rounded, and so that's where I think the Ted Lasso kind of, while they can be cheesy at times, the kind of life tie-ins, I think for me make me really enjoy it. I do think also the overall premise of just that this originated from a freaking TV. This originated from a TV commercial. It is just an absurd. The whole premise is just absurd, and so I do think the framing of just the show itself, I think, is pretty just funny and comical. Coach Beard, I think, is a hilarious character. And there are so many small moments. What I know, wonder why. I hate to see it. But yeah, I'm a big fan. I speaking of COVID shows with Jake, I disagree with the conversation that COVID helped bring it to its peak popularity, but I love it. Love it.
How was the third season? I haven't seen the third season yet.
I would say good.
Yeah.
Good doesn't live up to the other two.
I would agree with that.
Same. I would agree with that as well.
I would just circle back to my point. I think it's a great show. As far as a comedy show, I think it's good. I smile more than I laugh out loud at it, but it was on my board. Like I said, I was going to take it next, so I couldn't in good faith throw the veto out there. Although I would love to take it off your board, Joe.
I like great value, Joe. I think it's great value.
Jake, I'm very worried about you taking mine here. I just want to preface that.
So again, going with a show that I think is an easy rewatch. Didn't really watch it when it came out because I think I was probably a little too young. No, I was too young, and I just caught it back on resyndication in high school and in college. But personal favorite of mine, That 70s Show.
Okay,
it's on my board. It's a good pick.
That's a good one.
Loves that 70s Show. Again, a pretty easy watch. There are some touching moments in there, some drama moments in there, but for the most part, it's a fun comedy about friends that are in high school or just out of high school. So, but yeah, That 70s Show, absolutely love it.
Red's the best.
Red is the best, dude. Red is the best. And just him and Topher, Eric, their banter back and forth is probably my favorite. And Kitty, also one of the best TV moms out there.
Fun fact, when my sister adopted her cat, I tried to convince her very hard to name it Kitty Foreman.
Very nice.
That would have been cool.
I failed,
I would approve.
But I tried really hard.
You tried. That's a try.
Yeah, Jake, it's a good pick. It was near the end of my board just because I haven't revisited it in a while, but I enjoyed it when I watched it. So you're not going to hear any gripes from me. All right. I have a longer list than I thought of at this point in the draft. I thought I was going to get picked over. I only wrote 22 shows down, to be honest, and I thought with a 6-round draft between 4 of us, I would be picked through. I've got plenty to go. There's room in the tank. I'm going to take one. I don't know where we stand on this. I'm going to take one in HBO. I'm going to take Entourage. I think
it's on my board.
This one. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
I had a bit prepared. I was waiting for one of you to take it, and I was going to hammer you with questions about the sexualization and the misogyny in the show, because I was gonna poke so many holes in whoever took this.
Is that really what you would like to portray in 2026, Shaun?
Yeah, it's not exactly aging great in terms of the humor. It's a bit raunchy and over the line in spots. I will say I think the intent of the show is pretty good. They're decent-hearted people, even if some rough decisions were made early on. But overall, in terms of just laugh-out-loud moments, if I'm sticking true to what I laugh at, this is right up my alley. Johnny Chase, Ari Gold, those two alone, they throw 102 on the black almost every scene that they're in. So somebody find Johnny Chase a fucking job by the end of the day or you're fired. I love Entourage, and I'm happy to have it in the 5th.
When Ari comes in with the paintball gun, unbelievable. The get the fuck out is probably is probably my favorite meme to use.
It's a great meme. Very memeable show too. Victory.
I don't want to glaze you like Jake was, but that's a darn good pick. That's a darn good pick.
Thank you.
To see it.
Jeff.
I've only seen it in clips. I've never watched it.
Oh, Jake, after The Wire,
listen,
I think we need to get you onto this.
Nah,
I think you'd love it.
I got a lot of things. I got a lot of things to watch, man.
A long list.
We'll get you caught up the next time you're stuck in your house.
Yeah, you have 25 years worth.
Yeah.
Catching up to do.
Well, he had to catch up for the first 25 years during COVID.
True.
I did. I tried.
So he's missed the last 8. All right. My final pick, and so many good ones still out there. This has the chance to tank me. This has the chance, but I'm going to stay true to myself again. And I'm going to go with the show that has not landed the plane yet. It's still airing, and there hasn't even been that many episodes out of it. But it's another one that I think it's a wholehearted good show. I'm going Shrinking.
You scumbag. You're a scumbag. You're an absolute freaking scumbag.
I love it. I love it. Give me Shrinking. I want all the Jason Segel. I want all of the Kobe Smulders. I'm so happy to wrap up my draft with Shrinking. It's just a personal favorite for me. Harrison Ford is so good. He's hilarious. It's a great cast. Typically, these shows I don't even end up giving a chance to. These big budget, big star, new streaming only shows. Oh, I'm all in on Shrinking, and I love it so much. So, and based on Joe's reaction, I'm thrilled I took it just for that.
I've heard very good things. Haven't gotten around to it.
It's probably one of the best, one of my favorite shows in the last couple of years. I think there's so many funny side characters. I hate to just freaking give
Joe,
you
it
your
sounds like maybe I could get your vote in this one.
Oh, I'm so mad that you did that. I'll say this though, Shaun. I find myself smiling a lot more than I do laughing. And so,
Fair point.
that really for me.
Fair point.
I did Shaun just say that?
I did say that. Thank you, Jake. Jake, I'll tell you what, Jake, you're a real stand-up guy. And Joe's a scumbag because I said that about this pick.
I know. Why would he do that? Why would he do that?
Oh, I thought for sure I was getting that with my last pick. I thought for sure.
No, I'm so happy I took it. That made me draft, whether you think so or not. I'm gonna think about 2 things tonight, and it's Topanga and Shrinking.
Oh man.
We're off Jake. Get us home. We have 3 picks left.
All right, so here we go. I'm gonna lose everyone with this pick. But again, the theme of this, I think, whole excursion we've all been on is we're being true to us. And again, this was a show. This was a show that I would see episodes that aired when I was a kid, like as they were happening, and then watch the whole thing on resyndication when I was middle school, high school, and then I just got the box set. And then I'm talking about the Drew Carey Show.
Wow.
I know it's a stretch for most people. I adored this show. And one of the things that I loved about it is they would leave. I know Schitt's Creek. Oh, sorry. I don't want to drop any other names, but I know other shows do this. But it was the first time I've ever seen a show where they kept the people, like the actors, laughing in the show. Like, I think a lot of times, like, if a character's going to make a joke about somebody else, no one else is really laughing at it. Where I felt like this show, like, they kept the laughing in, so it, like, felt very natural. So, anyway, I think it's a great sitcom. It kind of limped towards the finish line, but just for me, a personal pick, absolutely loved the Drew Carey Show. There's, like, from, like, 1st to the 5th season, I think or maybe 4th season, are great television. So, the Drew Carey Show, can't talk about it enough. I highly doubt, did anyone ever see it?
I have. Great theme song.
Great. Wow. I mean, they had multiple great theme songs. 5 O'Clock World, and then Cleveland Rocks is the one everybody knows.
Ohio!
Oh, yeah. So, anyway, love Drew Carey.
Proud of you for sticking to your guns, Jake. Great draft.
I would watch it on cable when I was younger. I cannot pretend to have seen a significant amount of the episodes.
Yeah. But no, I loved it.
What year did you watch the box set? Because you probably caught up to DVDs around 2021.
So it wouldn't be released because of copyright. So they just released it on box set. But like I've seen it all before, like when I was in high school, probably like twice over. And then just found it as a box set. So I've been watching it. But great stuff. I don't want to go too far off the rails here, but they had an episode I thought was really cool where like there were mistakes in the show, and then you would have to like write down all the mistakes, send it to them, and then like someone won like, I don't know, like 10 grand or something like that if you caught like all the mistakes or whoever had the most. I thought it was like they would have like interactive stuff like that. I don't know. I thought it was cool.
Sounds more like a highlights magazine.
It was a highlights magazine as a TV show for like one episode a season. That is true. Great pool there, Shaun.
Thank you.
I loved reading highlights.
Oh, that was the line of the century.
It was the best time when I was in 12th grade reading highlights.
All right. Well, for my last pick, or before my last pick, I just want to put out there, I was catching slander for being Joey Zeitgeist last time, but Jake's re-syndication counter is at 4. So I just want to make that very clear. Want to put that out there. But I'm going to go with one that I connect with because of my job as a teacher. And I'm sure Shaun, now that he is a teacher as well, along with Jake, I'm sure they connect with it. But Abbott Elementary has so perfectly pegged the challenges and the just truly just unreal moments that happen as a teacher that are just, you just scratch your head and you're like, am I living in real life right now? I wish that there was a high school edition because it would be even more, I think it would be even funnier, but they perfectly peg, the craziness of being a teacher, and I'm sure what it is to be an elementary teacher as well. And I also think they make it really funny by also being like critical of just the absurdity that is our education system. So I appreciate that they like really peg a lot of the like critiques that can be had about education as well. But it is funny, man. It is funny.
Yeah. Love Abbott. Good pick.
Yeah,
Shaun,
Joe, I'm with
seen?
you. No, yeah, I love it.
Cool.
I was thinking about it with Shrinking, but I do prefer Shrinking, but Abbott's great. And I think you nailed it too with the points that just really they hit home. Some of the stuff you see in there. I enjoy Abbott a lot.
Pretty disrespectful to skip over my 6 months as a substitute at Greater Nanticoke area.
Wow, true.
I will say if I would have pandered to Jack Zweibel, who I know listens to our last draft, I would have picked MASH as one of my 6. But I'm a man of honor. Shout out Jack. But I did not pander for a vote. Just want to make that clear.
MASH was on my list just in case it was there in case of emergency.
Shout out Jack. I will say, Jack, hey, how about tune in for a couple other episodes? Joe's only on once every couple months, so.
One of my favorite humans. Jack Zweibel, one of my favorite humans. But anyway.
Bring us home, Jeff.
A lot of different directions we could go here. I have 15 left on my board. But I'm going to go with a show that in the moment and during the time that it was on air was about a perfect encapsulation of that time as there could be. And now when you watch it, X number of years later is even funnier because they have to point out who the people making the cameos are. So I'm taking The League because look over there. It's Josh Cribbs, kick returner for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Jeff, great pick. It was on my board the whole time, and I just kept kicking it down the road because I was like, I don't know how that'll play now. I feel like a lot of people haven't seen it. But if I'm talking shows that make me laugh the most, The League is so high up there. I mean, the first 3 seasons of The League are every episode's piss your pants funny.
Primo. Yep.
Oh yeah.
The Yoba Goya episode. The episode where Ruxin gets into a fight with Antonio Gates at the spa. It's that was really my introduction to Nick Kroll, who is obviously one of the funniest people in the world. And then just the whole dynamic of the characters, from Pete and Kevin to Taco to Jenny. Like Taco, there's never been a character like Taco, even though there are there are plenty of shows with the stoner character, but he really takes it to a different fake intellectual level. So shout out to Taco. I'm going with the league to close us out here.
Very nice. Love Taco. Still have him as my fantasy football name. Tacos.
It's a great name.
Still
it's a great name. And I hope you never change it. My league with my college friends, our last place trophy is still the Sacco Bowl. We have a Sacco Bowl each year.
Shiva Kamini Somar Kandar Kran.
That's right.
The Super Bowl Shuffle commercial or the music video that they do, and it has like ridiculous people because they obviously weren't getting stars. So like Ruxin having Brent Grimes there as the Falcons representative for the Falcons defense to do the Shiva Bowl Shuffle. Unbelievable.
Good stuff, Jeff.
Shiva Kamini Soma Kandar Kran. Shiva Kamini Soma Kandar Kran. Hey,
I'm happy it got drafted. It deserved a spot at the table here. Let's do honorable mentions. What did we miss? What was left on your board? Why don't we just start in the order we drafted? So maybe just a couple first instead of all 15 at once, Jeff, since you still have a whole draft basically worth picks.
I left Futurama on the cutting room table here. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yep.
And then a classic where I've seen a lot of the episodes. I've seen a lot of the clips, but I just felt in good conscience I couldn't take Cheers because there are so many episodes that I have not seen. But I do have to give the shout out to the line that Norm, when Norm died, they had all these cut ups of all of his entrances into the bar. And they say, "What you up to, Norm?" And he goes, "My ideal weight if I was 11 feet tall." And it's one of my favorite quotes of all time.
I think for me, Modern Family was a surprise one. I thought somebody was going to snag Modern Family. I thought at some of its peaks, it was really, really funny. Also, I think maybe a little bit before its time, possibly as well. But that was funny. And then I would say the other one, where's it at? Oh, it's more dark comedy. I was unsure how it would land, but I loved Atlanta. I thought Atlanta was very entertaining. If we're talking like executing dark comedy really well, I thought that Donald Glover wrote a masterpiece. Paperboy is a hilarious character. And so, yeah, I was considering that one with my last pick as well.
Joe, I wrote down Barry kind of in that same dark comedy range, but I was a little unsure of as well.
Trying to see some of them. I did have Chappelle Show on there. Watched it a bunch, but again, only 2 seasons. Schitt's Creek. I started getting into Bob's Burgers. I think it's hilarious. Not for the draft, but was there. And then I also had some Golden Age ones. All in the Family, Cheers, Married with Children, even I Love Lucy. Just in case I was feeling like a classic one to kind of pull out of my hat that I've seen a lot because of my grandparents. And then, sitcom. I don't know if it's that funny, but like I feel like Home Improvement was huge at one time, and it was like just in my box. But yeah, same with Simpsons as well.
Yeah. Simpsons should at least be mentioned in the episode, I'd say. So I'm glad you.
I've seen all the Halloween. Family Guy, yeah.
Yeah, Jake. I had Jake and Joe. I had a couple that you guys referenced. I had Schitt's Creek and Modern Family as my next 2 if the draft were to continue. And then also one, I don't know if anybody's seen it, Fleabag. I didn't know how it would play on the graphic. Fleabag's excellent. I just didn't think anybody had seen it. So I love that show. A sitcom for me that I thought might get picked was King of Queens. I thought Arthur Spooner.
I had it on the list,
Oh, yeah.
He's so funny. It's basically Frank Costanza. He just does the same. He's the same character. And then I also had 2 that are kind of cringy but also hilarious were Nathan For You and I Think You Should Leave. I think both of those.
I think you should leave. Yeah.
I think You Should Leave is the most memeable show ever, and it's so
We're all
funny.
looking for the guy who did this.
No idea who could be. Yeah.
Why did I do
that? I love that. I just didn't want to take it because you just don't get a ton of length out of it. So it's a skit show, and it serves a purpose, but it just didn't crack my board. But
yeah,
that's basically all I had. I'm tapped out on honorable mentions.
Yeah, pretty much. No scrubs from anybody?
Didn't watch it.
I've only watched like a few episodes.
Yeah, I was surprised that one didn't get pulled up. I know that it has a pretty big cult following. And then did anybody and nobody took 30 Rock either, right?
No. That's another one with a big following too, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have not seen a single episode, so that was another one.
And I hate Alec Baldwin. I hate him. I can't stand him. So
well, isn't he like pretty much himself in the show too? Yeah, you're not alone. Like he's not a good guy. I don't think he's Chevy Chase bad, but like he's still not good.
They're both awful on set, is what I've heard.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I mean, one murdered somebody.
That was the joke.
Anyway.
The gun misfired. The gun misfired allegedly.
Prop gun allegedly. Why don't we run through our picks in order that we drafted them? So I have the list in the show doc if you guys don't have it in front of you. So turn to that if you need to. But Jeff, we'll start with you.
Seinfeld, Eastbound and Down, South Park, Veep, Letterkenny, The League.
I went Friends, New Girl, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Community, Ted Lasso, and Abbott Elementary.
I went The Office, the United States version. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Parks and Recreation, That 70s Show, Malcolm in the Middle, and then The Drew Carey Show.
I went with Curb Your Enthusiasm, How I Met Your Mother, Arrested Development, Boy Meets World, Entourage, and Shrinking. And I will say one more quick last-minute honorable mention. The Office UK version should have been mentioned. I think that show is piss your pants funny, but I felt like Jake covered it when he took The Office US.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I'll take any sympathy votes.
Yeah, Laney has entered the chat here for Team Jeff.
Okay. Can't believe Shaun would cuss while Laney was on screen. Crazy.
I know.
No, he's a scumbag. That's a last-ditch effort to win the fan vote. What that was.
I know. Use you can't use your beautiful daughter to get sympathy votes. That's not right.
Well, I think Shaun should get negative for cussing while he was on screen.
Exactly.
What did I say? Piss when she was here? Hi, Laney.
Oh my God. That was a hello.
All right, boys. Anything else before we wrap up?
Hey, I enjoy these talks. I thought we all did very well. I mean, there's one clear winner, me, but I thought we all had very good boards.
Jake, I thought you did a lot better than last time, buddy.
Listen, if you don't understand Law and Order, that's your problem.
Listen, I think people had more of an issue with The Haunting of Hill House.
Dude, Haunting at Hill House was a great show. I don't care what anyone says. I'll die on that hill. I'll die on Hill House.
I think your draft did die on Hill House.
It did. It was last.
I also think I said last time that Dick Clark was the showrunner for Law and Order instead of Dick Wolf.
Shout out Dick Wolf.
I would like to issue a hand up. Well, boys, thank you all for joining me. We will have the poll out in a week. We'll give the listeners some time to digest, and then we will get you guys back on for a different topic sometime soon. So I appreciate it. Listeners, thank you all for tuning in. And until next time, take care.